Hello, my name is Melissa Lynch, and I will be talking about the mini case in Chapter 2 of our textbook today. It involves strategic leadership and how that really made a difference for Priceline.com. I'm going to start off with strategic leadership in general. It involves coming up with new tactics and being able to communicate a vision for the organization or for a specific department in that organization. A strategic leader really needs to not only be able to manage their employees, but it is important that they can motivate the staff and get them all working towards the common goal of the organization. If the staff isn't aligned with the vision for the company, it's going to be really hard and cause some issues and complications in reaching your overall goals, and the organization may never reach the full level of success that it's capable of. For my next topic, I'm going to give you a little detailed background on Priceline in general, in case you're not familiar with it. Priceline was founded in 1997 by J.S. Walker and Scott Case. This organization was created as a Name Your Price website, which focused on the travel industry, specifically on airline tickets and hotel bookings. Just about 4 years into the business, they decided to make a really big business move and try to expand into other markets for different products with the Name Your Price idea. It did not work out how they had planned. It was very unsuccessful. There was too much cash outflow, not enough cash inflow from it, and it caused them to almost go bankrupt at the time. There was also the September 11, 2001 terror attack that occurred, and it was around the same time. It caused a big decline in the overall travel market, and Priceline was in dire need of a new leader who could really turn things around for them. That brings me to my next topic of Jeffrey Boyd. He ended up being exactly what Priceline needed. He was with the company for a couple years before he became CEO in 2002. He completely flipped the organization upside down. He rebuilt the company's focus and got everybody on board about the new vision for the company. Priceline would still focus on the travel market. However, instead of its main selling point being airline tickets, he was really pushing for hotel bookings just because at that time they were going to be a lot more profitable for obvious reasons. Boyd was able to build really strong relationships with major hotel chains such as Marriott and Starwood. That allowed Priceline to pay lower fees to the hotels than similar companies, so it really gave him a leg up over the competition. He also made sure to advance the company's ad campaign by switching from just radio ads to television ads. Marketing is a super important part of business in general, so when it's done right and used correctly, it can really have a great effect on the company. So as I had mentioned before, the expansion that Priceline had tried before didn't work out, but Boyd had an idea all of his own. Instead of trying to get into other markets, he decided that he wanted to try and expand overseas into Europe. So he began with new investments and acquisitions over there. In 2004, Priceline purchased Britain's Active Hotels, and then in 2005 took over Bookings.com, which is a Netherlands-based booking agent. After he had successfully expanded into the European market, Boyd decided that he wanted to carry out a similar strategy in Asia since his European ventures had been so successful. He made several purchases in Asia, and then by 2009, 61% of Priceline's revenues came from international bookings, so that's a pretty high number, and it shows that his idea was really successful and ended up turning out exactly how he wanted. In 2008, the economy was quickly spiraling downwards, as I'm sure many of you remember. However, the revenues for Priceline were on an uphill climb. The reason for this is that the recession actually increased the demand for the discount approach that Priceline offered, so it ended up working out in their favor really well, while other companies had a really hard time and were struggling. While the trip hasn't always been smooth for Priceline, their journey overall has been a really big success. Their market value currently in 2015 is around 70.5 billion, so that's huge. So they may start it off weak, but Boyd really helped push them over the edge and bring them up to be a huge success. I think that it's pretty clear looking back over the company's history that Boyd and his strategic leadership skills really had a huge part of Priceline's success today. Boyd started as CDO of Priceline when the company was down on its luck. They were struggling just to stay afloat. At that time, he was able to maintain the ability to look further ahead at the complex situations of long-term for success than just worrying about the problems of short-term that were going to bring little successes. So he really focused and was able to look ahead, which is an important skill for a strategic leader. He also was able to build commitment to the organization, and he gained a lot of really important professional relationships, both internally and externally of the organization, which helped the company be successful and himself be more successful. That is all I have for my presentation, so thank you for watching.